Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. This morning on the ferry from Bainbridge over here to Seattle, I saw a friend that I hadn't seen in several months, and he was actually sitting chatting with another friend, and so I stopped and said hi to the two of them, and I asked the one friend that I hadn't seen for a while about his health, because I knew he'd had some heart issues and he's been struggling with weight, and he said he still had some weight to lose, and his wife was always yakking at him about what he was eating. He said, "But I like my barbecue." And we talked a little bit about the fact that I had just become certified with Dr. John McDougall in the Starch Solution program, and just about Slender for Life and about weight loss and healthy eating. And he says, "Nope," he says, "my barbecue is too important to me." And that was, to me, just a very sad commentary about the standard American diet and about our culture. And I know what it's like to deal with food issues and weight issues. And I was overweight most of my life. I used to weigh about 110 pounds more than I do now, and just struggled. Did the yo-yo dieting, up, down, up, down, up, and until about 17 years ago, when I took the weight off using hypnosis and Dr. John McDougall's eating strategy of plant-based eating and exercise, and I've been able to keep it off actually quite easily ever since. And the desires for those old foods is just gone. But it still saddens me when I hear people that just are so committed to eating foods that make them fat and sick. And here in Dr. John McDougall's book, The Starch Solution, he writes that in 2002, the World Health Organization published a report explaining that the shift towards refined foods of animal origin, meat and dairy products, and increased fast was behind the global epidemics of obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. The report predicted that by 2020, 2/3 of the global burden of disease will be attributable to chronic, non-communicable diseases, most of them strongly associated with diet. Our unwillingness to respond to this vast base of knowledge, from ancient to modern, has resulted in the greatest health crisis known to humankind. Worldwide, 1.1 billion people are overweight, and 312 million obese. 18 million die of heart disease annually, more than 197 million have diabetes, and half of all people following a Western diet will develop life-threatening cancers. Wow, folks. If that isn't a wake-up call to make changes in what we're eating, I can't imagine just what it would be. And one of the problems that I think we get hooked into, and particularly as men, is being a manly man and macho man, and is that we got to have our meat and got to have our cheese and can't give up those things, and this notion that we're supposed to be hunters and gatherers, and that since the beginning of time men went out and hunted and brought the game home, and yet the reality is when you look at particularly what's going on, what the findings are now in modern archaeological digs, and with the chemical analysis of hair follicles and the bone fragments they find, is that pretty much from the beginning of time, human beings have been vegetarians. That eating meat was pretty rare. It just didn't happen. And it wasn't practical. They'd go off and they'd kill the buffalo, or they'd kill the deer or whatever, and they'd get the skin and they'd get the hide, for clothes and for warmth and for other purposes. But to actually eat the meat, it was too impractical. There was no way of preserving and storing the meat, and if they carried it for days and brought it back to the village or the tribe, people would get sick because the meat would have spoiled. So it just wasn't practical for them to do that. And even gladiators ate, from what they're discovering in the current archaeological digs, is that they ate a vegetarian diet, and in fact they were known as barley men because their diets were primarily barley based. They ate starches, they ate the whole grains, And what a really healthy diet is to focus your eating on the whole grains with some vegetables, with some fruit, and that allows you to truly be healthy. It gives you all the energy you need. You get more than enough protein, you get complete proteins, you get all your nutrients with the exception of some B12. Dr. John McDougall recommends taking B12 supplements if you've been eating a vegetarian or vegan diet for more than 3 years. Doesn't take much B12, we only need a little bit, and we have, I forget what the exact number is, but it's about a 12-year supply of B12 in our body, so it's kind of hard to run out of B12, but it's recommended that you supplement with B12. But anyway, between the fruits, the vegetables, the whole grains, you're going to get all the nutrients you need. You're going to have plenty of energy to live daily life. And what's amazing is all the variety of foods that are possible for you when you eat vegetables and whole grains and fruit. And at Slender for Life, if you go to slenderforlife.com, my website, and up in the menu bar you'll see the word recipe, and you click on that, and on that page you have access to about 15,000 free healthy recipes. So saying you're sick and tired of rice and beans doesn't go very far with me when you have access to all these varieties of healthy ways to create wonderful healthy meals. And some of them are very complicated, and lots of them are really, really simple, easy dishes totally with the idea in mind of people that don't like to cook or simply don't have time. And the great news is the amount of money that people save when they eat plant-based, because they're not spending all the money on meat and dairy products. And they're actually end up saving even more with improved health and have less health care costs. So if you're one of those folks who, and particularly a guy who thinks you got to be a macho man and eat beef and pork and chicken and fish and all those things, I'm here to tell you that that's not our history. Our history is primarily whole grain based, starch based, with vegetables and fruit. And the chicken, the fish, the beef, the pork, those were tribal feasts that we ate 2 or 3 times a year. We ate on special occasions, and they were eaten in small amounts. And so I really encourage you to take a look at your eating strategy, how you eat, and consider changing it, giving up the chicken, the fish, the beef, the pork, making it a rare occasional thing, a tribal feast like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter, and give up the dairy products, and because they just cause inflammation, cause disease, autoimmune diseases and cancers, and focus on the vegetables, the whole grains, the fruit. And if you think you can't do that, then no matter where you live, give me a call at 206-903-1232 or send me an email, roger@hypnosishealthinfo.com, and I'll have you come in for a consultation, no charge, free consultation here in my office in the Medical Dental Building in downtown Seattle, or my office over on Bainbridge Island. And if you live too far away, then we'll do it over the internet via Skype. I have clients in several states and in several countries around the world, and we'll develop a program that will allow you to change what you're eating, to make it a way of healthy eating that you enjoy, and where you don't miss the animal fats and certainly the diseases that go with it, that allow you to improve your health, become more active, and be healthy and lose weight. So give me a call, send me an email, let me know how to support you. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.